All right, here we are in Gimp, and I'm going to show you how to take a smile and brighten it. And here I'm using an image from Flickr, Creative Commons, and we're going with a horse today because who am I to decide if someone has yellow teeth or not? That's a human, right? So anyway, this is one of those just fun optional things that I'm showing you how to do. It's not that you really need to know how to do this, but it's very useful, and my students at the American University of Rome are always happy when I've showed them how to do this. So step one is open up your image, and over here in the layers menu, you select your original image, and then over here there's a button that will create a duplicate layer over your original. So that's where we're going to do all of our work, because it's always nice to have an original image under there. We can always blend our effects into the original. Okay, so step two is we click on our paintbrush tool, and here you can choose the kind of brush that you have. I like that this is a soft brush, but you have other options underneath here. And it's giving me a preview of how big it is. I may make it just a little bit bigger over here, and then you can always preview it over here. Great. Okay, and then you are going to select a color. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to paint right over those teeth, and we're not going to worry about if it looks fake or not, because we're going to be playing around with the opacity a little bit and blending it in. So we don't want black teeth, so I'm going to click here, and I recommend, because nobody actually has perfectly white teeth, particularly in nature, I say choose maybe like a really light yellow color, something, anything but pure white, because that'll really look fake. Okay, so here's my color, and let's see. So let's also drop the opacity down, and I think we can actually just type in a number. Let's do, I don't know, 25%. Okay, so now we're going to paint over these teeth. And don't worry about, you don't want it to be all just one shade. You do want to kind of keep these shines and these shadows, and I'm doing this probably much faster than I otherwise would. So I recommend, for best results, take your time. You may want to zoom in on these teeth a bit more to do a better job than I'm doing in this example. But yeah, so I am just coloring over the teeth. And sometimes if you do this with really bright white or too good of a job, it'll look like one of those toothpaste commercials from the 1950s where there's sparkles coming out of everyone's mouths and it looks like a cartoon. We don't really want it to look fake, and right now I realize that this looks fake even though I'm only trying to do it a little bit. So that's me doing this really quickly, right? Okay, so let's go back over here to our layers. If I turn the visibility off of our duplicate layer, you can see how it was before, right? What I recommend is, once you have done your dirty work, then what you can do is you can play around with the opacity of that layer so that it blends into the original layer below it. So let's see, what's the best way to do this? So let's say I type in, first of all, if I type in 12, oops, it doesn't let me, hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that's 12%. And you can play around with the numbers just by scrolling up and down. So I would recommend, maybe don't make it 100% because that looked too much, but you can kind of up the opacity or lower it depending on how realistic you want it to look. So if we want to brighten it up but we don't want it to look like someone really doctored it, we could do something like that, and voila, you have a much brighter smile than we had before, right? Okay, so now just for fun, I'm going to show you how to put lipstick on the horse. Not on a pig, but on a horse. You can use the same technique for putting makeup on someone or eyeliner or whatever it is, even a 5 o'clock shadow or something. Okay, so you may have noticed that I named my duplicate layer teeth. That's so I can keep everything straight as I begin to add more layers. In this one, I'm just going to do something to the lip. So I'm not going to duplicate the whole layer because that will end up covering up my teeth layer. So I would recommend grab your lasso tool, and let's make a selection of just the area that we're going to make changes to. In this case, the lower lip. Obviously we could do the upper lip too. Okay, and then we're going to double click to complete the selection, and then I'm going to hit Command C or Control C if you're on a PC, and Command V to paste it in, Control V, or you could just copy and paste, and you'll see that it comes in here as a pasted layer. Okay, so once you have your pasted layer, this is kind of not very intuitive. You have to click on your floating selection pasted layer and hold down the Control key, and you'll get this, and click, and you'll get this little drop down menu. And I would just say to new layer, click, and now it's a new pasted layer. I actually thought this was really annoying about Gimp coming from Photoshop, because I had to learn that there was an extra step to make this pasted layer, but voila, here it is, our pasted layer. And if this yellow box is annoying to you, you can go up under View and just say uncheck Show Layer Boundary, and it goes away. And basically, I'm just going to name this lip. And now we have a lip layer, a teeth layer, and the original layer. So in our lip layer, we are going to click on our paintbrush tool and choose a lipstick color. So I don't know, let's go for like a little red lipstick or pink lipstick. And my brush is the same, my opacity is the same. You can even make the opacity a bit less. And you just start painting our lipstick on our horse. Okay, so I'm just going to do this very quickly. Sorry, someone's beeping outside as I'm recording this. Apologies, that's Roman traffic for you. Okay, so that's that. Yes, okay, someone is double parked, triple parked, quadruple parked. What else is new? All right, so there's my lipstick. Now what you can do is take this layer, and you can drop the opacity to blend it into the original below, and this will be separate from your teeth layer. So this was our original image, this is when we fixed the teeth, and this is when we added some lipstick. Okay, so use your new imaging superpowers for good and not for evil, and see you in the next lesson.